Hello, students. Welcome to Advertising and Salesmanship class. I will be your staff in charge. I am Adela Samuel from the Department of Accounting and Finance, St. Anne's Arts and Science College, Madhavaram. I hope you will enjoy this session through this online class videos that we put up for you. So we will be starting off with Unit 1, Introduction to IMC. IMC meaning Integrated Marketing Communication. So we will be starting off with this topic, Integrated Marketing Communication, under the subject Advertising and Salesmanship. So first off, we will start off with the meaning of IMC. IMC, or Integrated Marketing Communication, is a very simple concept. It ensures that all forms of communications and messages are carefully linked together. So what is the meaning of this term IMC is that it is a form of communication where all the different kinds of mediums and messages, all the different kinds of communication processes are all carefully linked together. Each and every communication process to convey a particular message, everything is going to be linked together. So this linking is what is called as integrated marketing communication. IMC integrates all the promotional tools so that they work together in harmony, which is more beneficial than working in isolation. So the meaning for this term, integrated marketing communication, means where all the promotional tools, like for example advertising or sales promotion or publicity or public relations or direct marketing, all these kinds of promotional tools, every promotional tool is going to be integrated with each other and they work together in harmony in order to convey a message to the actual public or the customers, and for the benefit of the customers. So instead of working alone, instead of all the promotional tools working alone, it is more beneficial if they all work together. And that is the reason why integrated marketing communication plays a very important role. Okay, now we are going to see the definition of the term IMC. According to the American Association of Advertising Agency, integrated marketing communication is defined as a comprehensive plan that evaluates the strategic roles of a variety of communication disciplines like advertising, public relation, personal selling, and sales promotion, and combines them to provide clarity, consistency, and maximum communication impact. So there are just two parts that you need to remember in this definition. One is it is like a comprehensive plan where all the roles of disciplines like advertising, public relations, personal selling, and sales promotion, all these are combined together. So all these communication techniques are combined together so that the end result will be very clear, it will be very consistent, and maximum impact of this communication might take place. So if you want to communicate some kind of information to your ultimate customers, they choose all these kinds of mediums, communication mediums like advertising or public relations and public publicity, personal selling or sales promotion, and combining all these communication techniques together in order to provide a certain kind of clarity and consistency and maximum impact in the minds of the customers. And that is the meaning or the definition of this term, integrated marketing communication. Okay, now that we have learned the meaning and the definition of the term integrated marketing communication, we'll go into the next concept where we're going to study about the levels of integration in IMC. Levels of integration in IMC. So there are 5 levels of integration in IMC in a company. So we can consider it as the horizontal integration, vertical integration, data integration, internal integration, and external integration. The first one is the horizontal integration. This occurs across the marketing mix and across business functions, like for example, the production function or the finance function, distribution and communication functions. So every function should work together and be conscious that their decisions and actions send message to the customers. So each and every department or each and every function that any organization has, they should work together to come up with a message that will convey about the company, about the products of the company is selling to the ultimate customers. So every department should communicate with each other and they come up with some kind of a message that can be conveyed to the customer. That is horizontal integration. Next one is vertical integration. Vertical integration means marketing and communication objectives. It must support the higher level corporate objectives and corporate missions. Like for example, if the mission and vision of the company is set, depending on those missions and visions, the vertical integration might take place. That is, the marketing department and the communication that the marketing department does, or the advertisements that they come up with, everything should be in accordance with the corporate objective and the corporate vision or mission that the company is setting. So that is called as vertical integration. Next one is the data integration. Data integration, different departments such as the sales or the advertising department can help each other through data integration. This requires a marketing information system which collects and shares relevant data across different departments. For example, data is collected from various other departments and it is integrated, and that can come out as a message to the ultimate customers. That is, for example, if the sales department is selling a product well, the sales department knows which product is selling well. So they can convey this information to the production department, where the production department can create more of that products. The same information can be given to the advertising department, where the advertisements can come out well. The advertisers can come up with a nice concept to create an awareness in the minds of the customers about this particular product. So every department should coordinate with each other so that the customers will actually get the message that has to be received by them. Next one is the internal integration. The fourth level is the internal integration. So here what happens, this requires internal marketing, keeping all the staff informed and motivated about any new developments, from new advertisements, from new corporate identities, new service standards, new strategic partners, and so on. So here what happens is, internally within the company, every department, every staff in the department, in every department should be informed about what is happening in the company, what new developments happen in the company, what is the new advertisement techniques they come up with the company. So all this will have to be internally informed to everybody. So internal integration means communication that is happening within the organization. Then the fifth one is the external integration. External integration, on the other hand, requires external partners such as advertising and PR agencies who are working closely together to deliver a single seamless solution or an integrated message for the company. So anything that the company comes up, any new strategy or development or idea that the company comes up, must be informed to the advertising agencies or the PR agencies that is working for the company. So once they inform this to the companies, they will be able to create an advertisement, or they will be able to create a message for the company which will be shared to the customers. So that can be considered as external integration. So these are the 5 levels of integration in the IMC process. Okay, now we are going to start off with what are the benefits of IMC. The benefits of the advantages or the benefits of integrated marketing communication. So first one is It maximizes the return on investment. So when we say integrated marketing communication, we have learned that it refers to integrating all the communication techniques, that is the advertising technique or the publicity technique or the sales promotion techniques that the company is using. This process is going to integrate everything. So when it is integrating all the communication techniques and giving across a message to the customers will definitely buy the product. For example, if you take Vodafone had come up with a nice concept called as Zuzus. So everywhere you see when they started off with the Zuzu technique ad campaign, wherever you saw those Zuzu characters and they were trying to convey some information about Vodafone. So in the television, you can see the Zuzus. In the newspapers, you can see their advertisements. You can see when you go to the shops, you could see the posters and the billboards with Zuzus. And when you enter a shopping mall, there were people who were dressed up like Zuzus and they were shaking hands with the customers who were walking in and walking out of the malls. And there were so many techniques that they used. So everything was integrated. The concept was the same. They used this Zuzu dolls to convey some message about Vodafone. So the concept was the same, the message was the same, but they had integrated all the communication techniques together. That is what is called as integrated marketing communication. Okay, so when that is going to be done, the return on investment is going to be the first benefit of the companies which is going to use such a technique. So when they have invested some kind of a money on these advertising techniques or on these publicity techniques, they get back everything because the ad campaign is a hit in the market. So the return on investment is good for the company. So that is the first benefit that they get when they go for this process of IMC. The second benefit is a part of the first benefit itself. It increases the sales and the profit. So when we say there is a return on investment, that means you're getting back all the money that you've invested. That means your sales has gone up. Your sales is increased and obviously your profits are also going to increase. So the second benefit that you get from this IMC process is the sales of the product is going to increase. So Vodafone with the biggest hit that they had, the Zuzu characters that they had, they were able to sell more. They were able to earn more profit, and because of both these things, return on investment was also very good for them. So that is the second benefit that they will get if they go in for integrating all the communication techniques. The third benefit that IMC provides is it builds a relationship with the customers, which leads to loyalty. So through these techniques, so everywhere you turn, you're going to see the same kind of a message from the same company. So what happens? It starts building a kind of a relationship with the customer. So these Zuzu characters started to build a good relation, a rapport with the customers. So near the shops where they were selling the Vodafone stores, these characters used to stand and they used to welcome people coming in and going out. They used to have a lot of sales promotion techniques like giving them free stuff, giving them free badges or hats or caps and pens or simple things which had the Zuzu character on them, and that created a bond with the customers. So it builds a good relationship with the customers, and this leads to loyalty. Obviously, when there is a good relationship that is happening with the customer and the seller, that will lead to loyalty, and the loyal customers will stay on with the same company for a longer period of time. So the first three benefits that IMC provides is maximum return on investment, increase in the sale and profit, builds a good relationship with the customers leading to loyalty. The fourth benefit of integrated marketing communication is loyalty leads to long-term relationship, which in turn leads to customer database. So as we studied in the previous benefit, we said it creates a relationship with the customers and in turn it creates loyalty. So now what loyalty does is loyalty, because it is a long-term relationship, it leads to customer database. So they are able to collect a database for a particular product. So once you become very loyal to your product, the company will record your name And whenever they come up with a new concept, or whenever they come up with a new product or a variation of the same product, when they want to give you something, some goodies for the products that you are buying, then they will definitely contact this particular customer. So they are able to create a database, and for those customers they will be able to give them much more because they are loyal customers. So for example, if you take certain companies like some certain airlines, they have certain concepts like loyalty points. So if you are a frequent flyer and you have collected some loyalty points, they might upgrade your ticket from an economy class to a business class. So your name will be recorded in their database, and for you they might give it some kind of a benefit. So loyalty points might be some concepts that they use. If you take like shops like RMKV or Kumaran Silks, and these shops, what they do is when you buy some products in their shops, they usually take down your name and they give you a membership card and things like that. That happens in a lot of shops like Green Trends, or if you go to Reliance Trends and Max or Lifestyle shops like this, they give you a membership card wherein loyalty points keep adding on to you, and your name will be collected as the database. So once they start integrating the communication process, so they will ask you through what medium did you get to know about our product. If you say through the advertisements, or somebody told me, somebody has come here to your shop and they have told me. So things like that, they collect a lot of information, and that will be a data for them to go on further to develop advertising techniques, to develop promotional techniques. Okay, so that is one benefit for the company. It is also a benefit for the customer, because we are getting loyalty points, we are getting something extra from the products that we are buying. So a benefit is for both because of loyalty. The next one is it makes the message more consistent and credible, reducing the risk of brand comparison. So once you get information from the advertising techniques in the television or in the newspapers or through posters or billboards, or some salesperson is telling you, there are so many ways in which you can get the same message. So that's when they are integrating the message and conveying it to the customers. All kinds of mediums are telling you the same message. That means it is consistent. The message is going to be consistent, and it is also credible. Credible means it is trustable, where because every medium is telling you the same message, every medium is conveying the same kind of a message. So definitely you can trust the message and you can go and buy the product. So it reduces the risk of brand comparison. You need not compare this particular brand with another brand. So once you get the information through advertising techniques, through promotional techniques, through publicity, through the newspapers, through the televisions, through any source, everybody is kind to tell you the same thing about that particular product. So you don't go in for comparing this brand with another brand, and so it reduces the risk of comparison. Definitely the company will know that you are going to buy their company's products only. So that is the benefit for from the company's point of view. And it is trustworthy message, so you go and buy the product, and so it's a benefit for you also. So these are the various benefits that integrated marketing communication process gives us. Next, we move into the concept of barriers of integrated marketing communication. So there are 4 barriers that we will see. First one is functional barrier. Functional barrier, it refers to the rigid organizational structure that is present in a company. So sadly, some companies have a very rigid organizational structure where each and every department or each and every function in the company might not have a cordial relationship with the other function or other department. So in that case, proper communication of information might not have taken place. For example, say if there is a promotional technique that is happening, the sales promotion techniques that is being introduced into the company, and the sales managers do not know about it. How will they advertise? How will they go and sell their product? Advertisements may say something, but the salesperson in the shop might not know about it. Then there is a communication gap that is happening. So how will they sell the product effectively? How will it lead to profit? So that is a barrier for integrated marketing communication. The second barrier that is there is lack of creativity. So when you're going for IMC process itself, a lot of creativity is required because you have to integrate one type of communication technique with another technique. A television ad should coincide with the newspaper ad. Newspaper ad should coincide with the digital ad in the computers, in the internet. So there are a lot of there is a lot of creativity that is involved when you're going in for integrated marketing. If that is lacking, then it is of no use. Third barrier that is there is time scale conflict. That means certain time horizons should be kept in mind when this integrated marketing communication takes place, because if you go in for one kind of a technique, one kind of a message that is going to convey to the customers for a very long period of time, that kind of an ad campaign will create an impact in the minds of the customers, but that will have a conflict when you're going in for an advertising for a particular time period alone, for a quarterly sales or for a new product that is coming in the company. If you want to deviate from the long process that you have taken up, long ad campaign that you have taken up, then the time frames will differ, and that will create a problem, or that will create a barrier in the minds of the customers. So that also is a barrier to IMC. And the fourth one is lack of management know-how. Management know-how in the sense, just lack of how to go about doing this integrated process, integration of all the communication process. A lack of knowledge in the minds of the managers, or in the minds of the PR professionals or advertising agencies. If they lack the know-how of coming together and trying to convey the message to the customers, then that will be a big flop. So the barriers to integrated marketing communication are four types: functional barriers, lack of creativity, time scale conflict, and lack of management know-how. So we have come to the close of the first class. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you understood each and everything that we have done in this first video that we have sent across to you. So in this class, we had studied the introduction part of integrated marketing communication, the meaning, what is integrated marketing communication, the definition of the term, and we have seen the levels of IMC, the benefits of IMC, and the barriers to IMC. So hope you enjoyed this video. We will meet you in another video, and we will continue the rest of the topic. Thank you.